Welcome to Mlc Tv News Hour, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the Confluence State of Nigeria. I am Matthias Ayodeji Peter. The headlines: Federal government says 2 million people will start receiving 20 billion naira monthly from June. Governor Bello declares for 2023 presidency, promises security, economic prosperity. NDLEA intercepts 9.5 million TRAMADOL tablets worth 5 billion naira. And cabinet resigns as crisis looms. Protesters defy curfew in LANKA. Now the news in detail. The President Muhammadu Buhari in Abuja joined leaders and members of the All Progressive Congress in celebrating with former Governor of Edo State, Adams Oshiomhole, on his 70th birthday. In a statement signed on Sunday by his Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the President congratulated the former chairman of the APC on another milestone, saluting his salutary contribution to the development of democracy and good governance. Buhari expressed the belief that Oshiomhole's leadership strides in various sectors will stand the test of time, deploying his time and strength to the good of workers and Nigerians as a labor leader and chairman of the Nigeria Labour Congress, and accepting the call into politics to serve his state. He also noted the mental soundness and experience of the former APC leader. Willingly dedicating himself to the greater good of the country and acting as the voice of the voiceless in different ramifications. As the former governor turned 70, the president prayed for good health and continued service to God and humanity. 2 million people will start receiving about 20 billion naira from June this year as basic cash transfers and conditional cash transfers under the National Cash Transfers Program. It was gathered that the federal government would pay the 2 million people 5,000 naira each under the basic cash transfer and an additional 5,000 naira under the conditional cash transfer. This implies that the government will be spending 20 billion on the beneficiaries. A March 2022 document on the strategic roadmap and activities of the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development in Abuja on Sunday showed that the number of people receiving cash transfers from the government had been increasing. The report stated that in 2018, a total of 19 states were covered under the National Cash Transfer Programs, as they increased to 24 states in 2019 and moved up to 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory in 2020, covering 1.6 million people. But the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Farouk, stated in the document that the number would increase further in June. Under the cash transfer scheme, the federal government supports poor and vulnerable households with cash on a monthly basis. She explained that the ministry designed and piloted a shock-responsive social register called the Rapid Response Register to capture urban poor informal workers who were daily wage earners working across towns and cities and impacted by the COVID-19 lockdown. The minister said, to date, of this 1 million targeted by the government, we have been able to pay the sum of 5,000 naira to 850,000 beneficiaries digitally through the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System, where each account is carefully validated by the system before payment. Under the National Social Register, the minister stated that 46 million persons in 36 states and FCT and 11 million households has been registered as of 2022. The ministry stated that the Empower Volunteer Scheme provided temporary job opportunities for 498,602 graduates under batches A and B, while 450,000 graduates under batch C Stream 1 were also engaged. It added that 390,000 others were being onboarded for batch C Stream 2 and that there was presidential approval to enroll additional 1 million beneficiaries. It further stated in the document that 174 of the 1,850 mobile agents trained, kitted and registered with the Central Bank of Nigeria shared agent network expansion facilities for agency banking achieved a transaction volume of over 657 million naira between January 1st and March 25, 2022. The report indicated that 9.8 million pupils were being fed daily under the National Homegrown School Feeding Program, while 127,000 cooks had been engaged and 98 aggregators were supplying various protein products. The school feeding programs is one of the 4 clusters of the National Social Investment Program, which seeks to provide one free daily meal to pupils on the program. The NHGSFP is designed as a collaboration between the federal government and state governments. The federal government is responsible for the release of funds, guidelines, policies, and monitoring. The state carries out the day-to-day implementation, including procurement of food items and selection of cooks and vendors who prepare, cook, and serve the meals to the pupils. Federal government has ordered telecommunications operators, including MTN, Globalcom, Airtel, and 9Mobile, to bar all outgoing calls of all subscribers' identification module card not yet linked with the national identification number effective April 4th, 2022. Minister of Communication and Digital Economy Issa Pantami announced this in a statement on Monday, saying that the move was part of the implementation of the NIN SIM linkage policy of the government. The statement was jointly signed by the Director of Public Affairs, Nigerian Communication Commission, Ikechukwu Adinde, and Head Corporate Communication, National Identity Management Commission, Kayode Adegoke. The federal government had mandated telecommunication subscribers to link their SIMs with their NINs in December 2020 as part of the regime security and social policies. But many Nigerians have faulted the effectiveness of the NIN SIM linkage as kidnappers of Abuja Kaduna train passengers and others still phone victims' family to demand ransom and go scot-free on trace with their NINs. In the statement released on Monday, Pantami said as of date, over 125 million SIM cards have had their NINs submitted for linkage, verification and authentication, while the NIMC have issued over 78 million NINs to date. Federal Commissioner for Information and South-South Leader, Chief Edwin Clark, has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to, as a matter of urgency, declare a state of emergency on the educational sector in the country. Clark, who lamented the deteriorating standard of education in Nigeria, warned that if the government fails to declare a state of emergency, the education system in the country will be nothing to write home about, and the nation's children will be worse hit. Speaking with journalists at his Asokoro residence, Abuja, the former education commissioner in the defunct Midwestern region during the administration of late Samuel Ogumudia asked the federal government, in the interest of students, to discuss with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, with a view to addressing the problem of strikes that have become a recurring affair. According to Clark, if the government failed to brainstorm with the striking lecturers and the strike are not nipped in the bud, it will get to a situation where some of the students may not be able to go to university for about 5 years, especially when ASU embark on long-time strikes. Clark also spoke at last week's graduation ceremony of Edwin Clark's University, Kigbodo, Delta State, where 321 students graduated and honorary doctorate degrees were conferred on the former military president Ibrahim Babangida, late business mogul Usa Okombo, and others. Also called on the federal and the state government to offer automatic employment to university graduates who comes out with first class to boost scholarship in the country. According to the elder statesman, the graduation ceremony, which witnessed a total of 32 students with first class degree classifications, was the second and third convocations. It lampooned the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, saying that it has introduced a new trend that has turned into a profit-making venture by making poor children from pitiable families who are anxious to go to universities via exorbitant fees. The Ijaw leader also took a swipe at some states in the country that have more than a state university, saying no state should have more than one state university. Clark said, "For some time now, I have noticed with dismay, disappointment and frustration how the standard of education is falling very low. Not exactly due to the performance or non-performance of the children, but the governments, lecturers, and various institutions have failed to live up to expectations. In a situation whereby you are searching for students from other states to enter your school, I do not think it is proper for a state government to have more than one state university." The Nigerian Bar Association has expressed concern over the declining capacity of the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee to effectively deal with cases of unethical conduct amongst lawyers in the country. It blamed the development on the ebbing standard of discipline, rising cases of misconduct among legal practitioners, and the ineffectiveness of the LPDC as currently constituted. The NBA President Olumide Apata said the body of benchers, whose organ is the LPDC, should ensure an urgent reform of the committee to enable it function effectively to restore public confidence in the legal profession. Apata spoke in Abuja at an event to celebrate the change of baton in the leadership of the body of benchers, with Chief Wole Olanipekun San succeeding retired Justice Olabode Roth Vivo of the Supreme Court as the chairman, while Justice Mary Odili of the Supreme Court became the vice chairman. Apata stated, "I will charge the new chairman to look closely at the issue of discipline, look closely at the issue of LPDC." The NBA president said cases petition had piled up and were waiting to be heard. As the president of the bar, I get calls every day from people who feel that they have been outdone by lawyers, who feel that some lawyers have not conducted themselves properly in cases involving them. and they think we are not doing enough in terms of disciplining errant lawyers. Olanipeku, who is the 50th chairman of the BOB, said he was humbled by his new assignment and gave an assurance of his commitment to lifting the body and the profession by building on the enviable foundation laid by his predecessors. Following the crisis in the Ondo State branch of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, the state government has suspended activities of the union in the state, while a management committee has been set up to oversee the affairs of public parks in the state. Members of the union last Thursday protested against the alleged interference of the state government in the affairs of the union. The protesters alleged that the state government was planning to impose the immediate past chairman of the union, Jacob Adebo, for a second term in office. In a statement by the press secretary to the deputy governor, Kenneth Odushola Stevenson, on Sunday, the government said activities of the union in public park had been suspended. According to the statement, the immediate former chairman of the union, Adebo, was appointed the chairman of the committee, while Boyedi Benga was named as the secretary. Meanwhile, the Lagos State Secretary of the NURTW, Oluwaseyi Bankole, has said meetings and sale of union tickets has been suspended in the state. Bankole in a statement said the development was in line with the ban placed on union activities in the state. He added that no union member should make any payments at the council office in the state. Bankole said the directive is sequel to the ban placed on union activities in Lagos State by the state governor. Henceforth, no member of the union should make any payment whatsoever at any of the state council offices. We'll be right back after the short timeout. It's Local Government and You, a program designed to take you to every nook and cranny of any local government areas of the country, Nigeria. Through the program, we shall inform you of their activities, policies, people, and administration. And through your digital devices, we shall be reaching you because it promises to be insightful, educating, and informing. We are not only going to talk about the achievements of local government chairmen or administration, but also to touchlight some of the areas that needed improvement. I am Matthias Ayodeji Peter. Join me every Friday by 9 p.m. as I bring the local government to your doorsteps. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Mlc TV, now to be the first to get our notification as soon as we launch it. Don't miss it. Welcome back. You're still watching Mlc TV News. Now on politics. Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello Saturday declared his intention to contest the 2023 presidential election on the platform of the All Progressive Congress. He asked Nigerians to make informed decisions on who to become the next president, as he warned against repeating past mistakes. The governor, who expressed his interest at an event at the Eagle Square in Abuja, promised to create 20 million millionaires by the year 2030 using the Southeast model of apprenticeship, and that he would end the farmer-header clashes. He said his youthfulness would enhance his performance, noting that he is physically and mentally fit to lead Nigeria to prosperity. Our reporter Faith Abdul-Ghaffar has more.
The official declaration attracted massive crowd at the Eagle Square, Abuja. Many of them traveled from across the 36 states, including the FCT, to express their support. Many who spoke to journalists said Governor Bello is an outstanding leader that has demonstrated his worth in Kogi State, with the capacity and skills to lead Nigeria to a greater height.
Governor Yaya Bello would have done differently. When we arrived in Kogi State, His Excellency from Intelligence knew the security of the locations of terrorist cells, names of kidnapped hordes, and thugs and assassins in Kogi State. He probably was also listening to their conversation, but he did not speak about it. He went head on and decimated them, and today Kogi is one of the safest states in Nigeria. So on security, Governor Yaya Bello does more of action than talking. Number two, there are two major monsters that have stagnated the speed and development of this country. We all know those two monsters. The monsters of tribalism the monster of religious affiliation. Governor Yahaya Bello, in the last 7 years, has shown clearly, without any iota of doubt, that he is a leader who is 100% detribalized.
Nigeria needs a governor. Who has acquired experience of 8 years to translate to a president to check this insecurity problem. One of this insecurity problem is the major thing today bedeviling this country. We need a president who he will hear gunshot in Sambisa forest and he can be there. We need a president when bandits are at Kaduna Abuja highway, he could be there. We need a president that will run to all the nooks and crannies of this country as a leader. That means we need a youthful, intelligent, sagacious, and strong president. That is the embodiment and personification and make of Governor Alhaji Dr. Yahaya Bello.
I can assure you that it's going to turn the situation of the insecurity around. Talk about youth inclusiveness. You discover that by the time he gets there, the youth inclusiveness will increase in the country. Women participation. These are areas we felt that by the time he comes in, there will be a turnaround in such sectors. That's why we are giving him, and that's why we are pressing all this while that he should come out to contest and save us.
BELLO is a competent man. He's our governor in Kogi State, and he has been doing well. And I know, and I call him a smart thinker, because he thinks ahead, he's proactive. And for that, I have confidence for him, because he was my childhood friend. We are schoolmates. I know him from the grassroots. He can do it, he's able. He's a dream come true person. And he's a listening person. He have a listening ear. By one way or the other, if you can get his contact, you can push advice to him from any angle. And I am very sure for Yahaya Bello that I used to know, he will listen to you by the special grace of God. Thank you.
Yahaya Bello topped the list of the best governor in security in Nigeria. And security is the first business of every government. Yahaya Bello is a no-nonsense man when it comes to the issue of security. Today the crisis rocking, destroying Nigeria is insecurity. One blast in Kaduna, one blast in the airport, railway, train station being blasted. Yahaya Bello, as a president of Nigeria, none of these people who have face, none of them who have any privilege and opportunity to continue to wreak havoc on Nigeria. As you can see, Yahaya Bello as a governor of Kogi State, you see the cabinet being dominated by youths and women. Yahaya Bello will never bring in somebody using walking stick to be a member of his cabinet so that the system can work. Yahaya Bello is a digital governor. Yahaya Bello is a vibrant person. Yahaya Bello is a chartered accountant who, by every ramification, he will now reshape the economy of Nigeria. So, youth and Nigerians calling for Yahaya Bello, they know what it is in the future. Bello will be the hope of Nigeria to 2023. In the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, there is no zoning in the Constitution of the All Progressive Congress. Now, listen and listen very carefully. Nigeria poverty, Nigeria trouble, Nigeria woe does not depend on zoning. Whatever zone you are in Nigeria, people are facing poverty in the south, they are facing poverty in the north, they are facing poverty in the east. Poverty does not know zoning. So the issue of zoning is criminal ab initio. The issue of zoning is anti-misis. So while we are wasting and washing, by the time we face with the reality of the matter, and Bello goes to contest the presidency on this ground, bet me, Bello will emerge victorious.
They emphasized that security, women and youth inclusion which the governor is already known for, as his strength in Kogi are what Nigerians need at such a time like this.
The youth have, of course, strength and agility. The youth have purposeful in leadership. The youth have the zeal and envy of Nigeria as a nation. It is there in our history long before today. The youth are the owners of the nation. It were young people who fought for the independence of Nigeria. It was young people as military head of states that ensured that Nigeria remain one. We are bringing back the old norm. Nigeria must be managed for the youth, by the youth and for the youth. Yaya Bello represents the youth. Yaya Bello is a new hope. Yaya Bello is a bridger of gap between the younger and the older. Let them know outside that we are restructuring Nigeria from older people ruling us to younger people ruling us. Let them know outside that we are coming on a revolution by the ballot. Our PVC shall be used to send a message, because Yaya Bello is the one that will save Nigeria. Yaya Bello means jobs. Yaya Bello means security. Yaya Bello means youth ownership of governance. We are not asking for youth inclusiveness, youth ownership, because we constitute the majority.
He has the strength to rule this country. Today, the only man that can rule this country is Alhaji Yaya Bello, because it's the bridge between the old and the young. Point out one governor that can do it, if not Yaya Bello. He has shown it in Kogi State. He has shown it in security, he has shown it in infrastructure, he has shown it in health, in education, all around. In women, even inclusive, it's only Yaya Bello in Nigeria. In Nigeria today, women in governance is Yaya Bello.
Youth inclusiveness concern, youth involvement in politics. As you see me, I am less than 33 years old, and he found me worthy in his cabinet. As you see, a lot of women here, he is the only governor in Nigeria that affirmed the 35% women inclusiveness in politics. As you all can see, the development that is going on in Kogi State, as you can all see, that is the most security conscious governor we ever had in Nigeria. And if you have Yaya Bello today as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you will know the new architect of Nigeria, it will be positive. As you can see, the whole institution in Nigeria, they are home today because of ASU strike. It is only in Kogi State that you see Kogi State University and the Confluence University of Technology, they are all in session, because Yaya Bello does not believe in the power of ASU, does not believe there is the existence of ASU. He does not want anything to interrupt the educational life system of Kogi students. He meant well for Kogi students, and you can believe with me that if he becomes the President of Nigeria, there will be no more ASU strike, there will be no delay when it comes to education. Kogi State border 9 states, and you can see the security architects of the state. We thank God that God gave us Yaya Bello, and we are praying that Nigerians should adopt the man called Yaya Bello, and there will be new Nigeria.
The reason why we pitch our tent behind His Excellency Alhaji Yaya Bello is because he is a security conscious governor. We can see his antecedents as far as security architecture is concerned. Kogi State is bordered around 10 states, but Yaya Bello was able to administer security leadership. In Kogi State, there's nothing like kidnapping. In Kogi State, security issue is reduced to the barest minimum. Governor Yaya Bello is the answer to insecurity in Kogi State. Is answer to insecurity in Nigeria. We know what is happening in the current state of our country. Insecurity everywhere. We hope that if Yaya Bello becomes the next president of Nigeria, the issue of insecurity will be solved. Another issue is the issue of youth and women inclusiveness. Yaya Bello in Africa is the only governor who have answered to the 35 affirmation for the women inclusiveness in governance.
His Excellency President Yaya Bello When it comes to security, he's the best. I want Nigerians to appreciate the fact that God has blessed them with Yaya Bello. He's young, he's intelligent, he's vibrant, and inshallah, they will swear him in as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
State, I believe with Governor Yaya Bello, let me say with President Yaya Bello, by the special grace of God, it's going to be the dawn of a new day in Nigeria. The Nigeria we all have been agitating for, the dreams, the hope, the aspiration, that is what Yaya Bello is set to bring on board for us in Nigeria. He's just the right one. He's the chosen one. He's a unifier. He's a bridge builder. He's everything. He's everything the modern Nigeria wants now.
In a local government leader in Nigeria, I see before you can become anybody in this country, your father might either be a senator or retired general. But somebody like me, I'm the longest serving Agon chairman in the whole Nigeria for 7 years. My mother is poor, my father is poor. So I'm using this forum to appeal to the entire nation to allow Yaya Bello to be the next president, so that what is happening in Kogi State can come all over Nigeria. Some people will just be saying a lot of things. And let them come home, let them come to Kogi State and see practically by yourself. All the council leaders in Kogi State are women. All the vice chairmen are women, supervisors, everything. So this has answered my questions.
The President General, Yoruba General Assembly, Jagumolu Oluwatosi Tomori, says their mandate is to support the young and vibrant youth with agility to restore peace in the country. A country where security will be everyone's right. He said if Yaya Bello is allowed to lead, security of life and properties will be.
So for the privilege to be here presently, the declaration of our main mandate, the principal, so to say, Governor Yaya Bello, the executive governor of Kogi State, in his aspiration to become the president of this country. Today we have come to attend and thank God for giving us the privilege. Yes, Governor Yaya Bello is a wonderful person, and we are hopefully going to give him all our votes once he's been given to fly on the APC mandate for this country.
Chairman of the occasion, Salvador Mushid, former lawmaker Senator Jonathan Wingina, the Yaya Bello Presidential Campaign Organization, National Coordinator and Chairman National Campaign Council, said the country will be better if a young, results-oriented Governor Yaya Bello is elected to mount the affairs.
Governor Yaya Bello assumed the office as the youngest governor in this country. The youth of this country, you don't need to sit down and be saying we are the leaders of tomorrow. You have to come up and support members of the youth so that we can be proud that we have effective, powerful, sensible and smart youth in this country. I can assure you, all the youth of this country, the women of this country, you are capable of getting the best out of this nation. This is the best country in the world. If you come out to give all your support to Governor Yaya Bello, I can assure you, you will be happy. You have the best of Nigeria in a very short future. Let me remind you of his decision not to accept the reality of pandemic. He put his foot down and was moving right because nobody died of pandemic in his state. His state was not locked down, and that gave me the confidence in this gentleman that nobody can intimidate him with any policy from any authority of the world. Security network of Kogi is second to none because it combined the conventional security with the local security to man the state, and it proved to be successful. In July last year, a letter of commendation from the World Bank through its regional direction sub-country. It has never happened in the history of Nigeria for a governor to refund surplus money back for others to use. Therefore, my pride and joy to say that Governor Bello has capacity to introduce into Nigeria the miracle of Singapore, the miracle of United Arab Emirates or Dubai, so that we can become a country that Nigeria and the world can be proud of. We pray that all of us will support Governor Bello. He will build all the gaps, restore hope, and get the country moving on the right course. In this regard, we have identified Bello as the purposeful president for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In the transformation of nations and transition from arrested important. Bello is young, but he offers more than just his youthfulness. From my findings and interactions, we find in him and those who have known him for a considerable length of time, Bello is a highly detribalized leader with no trace of religious discrimination at all.
It is with all sense of humility and due sense of history that we say to all Nigerians today that the train to our destiny is about to take off. We are now on the march to Nigeria's true destiny as the greatest black nation in the world. And we're marching with all of you. I congratulate all the women here, and I congratulate all the women of Nigeria. Nigerian women have been made into cooks and singers for campaign. Today, I am Director General, the first woman Director General of a presidential campaign organization. We're not just singing, we are not just cooking, we are going to build this country. I stand before you as a member of the youth. I'm not as youthful as some of you that are here, but I'm more youthful than some of our elders as well. And I say to you that today, we signal to all the vested interests in Nigeria that the takeover by Nigeria's women, the takeover by Nigerians' young people, the takeover by Nigerians' people has begun.
Senator Jonathan Wingina said that today in Nigeria there is evidence that hope can inspire, and when the word hope is mentioned in connection with politics, it invokes his emotions, having been part of an integrated part of a hope project some 3 decades ago. Here is again in another hope assignment, from Hope 93 to Hope 23. Even today, hope remains relevant to the nation discourse. He added that Nigeria hope for a country they can be proud of, which has been the main focus of the administration. Above all, Nigerians across generations hope for the next leader who can further inspire hope and continue the good works undertaken by President Muhammadu Buhari. And he is happy to inform Nigerians that leadership search for the continuation of President Buhari's positive legacy has been found in Bello.
It is on record that he runs his government state with appointees from the zones of this country. At least 45 of his political appointees are indigenous from other states and geopolitical zones of the country. He has managed to do that without provoking political backlash from his countrymen and women. This is due to his understanding nature and his sheer political dexterity. Nigeria needs such leadership at the moment.
Kogi State Governor Bello explained that he has a vision of a Nigerian government, an economy that is open, inclusive and honest, and with leaders like him, building the new Nigeria is possible with God on his side. He maintained that Kogi State under his leadership has consistently laid others in the World Bank state, fiscal transparency, accountability and sustainability indices. It is a result he wants to mainstream the nation as a whole.
I am not an unknown quantity. I have been the governor of Kogi State since January 27, 2016. I invite Nigerians to assess my suitability to be president on the scorecard of my performance. Of course, when I mean my real scorecard, the verifiable, tangible baskets of works that we undertook and are undertaking to improve the lives and welfare of our people. I do not deny that false and evil reports against us have taken field, have often been filled the press, but all of us know why. He who pays the piper dictates the tune, and those who control the media controls the narratives. It is well known that we offended powerful vested interests on our way to power in Kogi State. Moreover, since we took office, we have committed the unpardonable political sin in Nigeria. That is, refusal to have godfathers and kowtow with them. Their anger has burned furiously against us, and sadly, they have often misled the media about us. As a result, we have had to work extra hard to receive fair comment, not to talk of accolades or credit for our many achievements. Before now, we have not cared much for biased reportage. Actually, we have gone ahead to record huge successes in spite of it. However, the 2023 presidential election is actually a battle for the survival of Nigeria, and I am passionate enough about my country fight for the privilege of leading her. In this race, I am adamant that the truth and nothing but the truth shall count for any assessment of Yahaya Bello and as a governor and as a presidential aspirant. As part of our effort to set the record straight, we have developed an e-compendium, which is probably the first and the only one of its kind among Nigerian states. We have showcased what we have done in my new direction administration in Kogi State there. It is domiciled at www.kogipedia.net and covers the period of 2016 till date. Kogipedia is a rich resource for research into the claim of performance, which we shall make in the course of our presidential run. I have instituted a standing reward for anyone who can disprove any of the hundreds of projects we have done in Kogi State, which are showcased in that particular website. More information about how we have led the confluence set can also be found on our official Kogi State website, www.kogistate.gov.ng.
He noted that as president, he will foster an economy in which every citizen can maximize his or her potential as wealth creator and change agent. Governor Bello promised he could work towards a democracy of the economy which places equal access to the factors of productivity within the power of any citizen who is ready to work hard and smart in pursuing of their dreams by adopting the Igbo style of trading mentorship to create more millionaires amongst the youth in the country.
The Buhari administration has a target of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty by year 2030. A Yahaya Bello administration or Yahaya Bello presidency will have an additional target of creating at least 20 million millionaires by the same year 2030, with the aim that each of them will employ or otherwise empower at least 5 other citizens. In this regard, we are going to learn a lot from the Southeast. We shall learn from our Igbo brothers. The apprenticeship model by which a boy from an indigent or affluent background is taken, turned into multi-millionaire businessman in as little as 10 years is one we have to study or understudy and invest in. Harvard University already studied it, and the Nigerian government must do no less.
He assured Nigeria of adequate security of life and properties that will attract an inflow of investors, businesses, and improve the lives of the indigent in the country. Kogi Governor Yahaya Bello has received many calls from the Nigerian youth to declare to contest in the 2023 presidential election months ago. These same youths hope that the APC ticket is given to him during the party primary election. Faith Abdulgafar reporting for Mlc TV.
Following the official declaration of Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello to contest for the presidential seat in the next political dispensation, a support group, Ibira Nation Stand Up for GYB to PYB, has described Governor Bello as an aspirant to bid in the next general elections. Speaking at the Eagle Square, Abuja, the national women leader of the support group, Bilkis Okuku, said Governor Bello has, in all ramifications, shown his capacity to serve as the country's president, noting that insecurity will become a thing of the past in Nigeria when the governor becomes president. While hailing Governor Bello for his courage to declare his intention to contest for the 2023 presidential seat, she enjoined Nigerians to make GYB to PYB a personal project to enable them enjoy more dividends of democracy.
Yahaya Bello is a man that all Nigerians are clamoring for. Then, if the Ibira nation that owns him does not stand up for him, then that will be a negative part of Ibira people. But I want you to know that the entire Ibira nation are standing up for GYB to PYB. Women should be the frontliners. By the time you consider the level of consideration he gave to we women, as I speak with you, I'm an SSA to him on grassroots sensitization. Also the national woman leader of Ibira Nation Stand Up for GYB to PYB. So women should stand up for this 80%. And as you can see, the association that have endorsed him, women are 90%. So we are out for him.
On his part, the Director Media Publicity of Ibira Nation Stand Up for GYB to PYB, Saliu Ojo Emmanuel, scores Governor Bello high in the areas of security, civil service reform, education, health, agriculture, among others, saying Nigeria needs a man who is courageous and proactive like the Kogi State Governor.
Is that number one, is very, very strong, is very, very bold, and for the activities and most of the work he has done in the state, in the area of security, in the area of civil service reform, honestly, we are convinced, and is the kind of person that we will support to be the president of Nigeria come 2023. Also, if you look at the security situation, the way now, if you consider he normally man the security aspect of any program that the APC is doing, and is the security chairman of the 19 northern governors in the nations. And Bello has done a lot of things that convince us and youth, and especially now that youth are clamoring that somebody that will mount the position of presidency 2023 should be a youth. Bello is in position to do that. Number one, you know that he has served 8 years. He had that experience. That is one of those qualities.
Recall that in recent months, Governor Bello of Kogi State have been receiving calls from all quarters to join the 2023 presidential race. His acceptance at the Eagle Square, Abuja, received mammoth crowd as the governor promised to bring hope to the country again. The General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, said he does not know whether or not there will be an election in 2023 yet. The 80-year-old cleric said God has not told him whether there would be an election next year. He said God spoke to him about the 2019 elections more than a year to the election. But the case has not been so with the 2023 election. He quickly added that God might still speak to him about the 2023 general election, but he has not spoken to him yet. The cleric said he is more concerned about Kaduna killings, oil theft, Nigerian depressing debt profile, and other current national challenges. Adeboye also said politics is not his calling and he will never be a politician. He stressed that he does not support any presidential aspirant ahead of the 2023 general election. The Octogenarian preacher said this on Sunday at the monthly Thanksgiving service of the church. Adeboye said the clarification was important amid the criticisms against the church creation of a politics directorate and the instruction to members to be politically involved in the 2023 electioneering process. Adeboye said, listen to me carefully, and if you are going to quote me correctly. I'm talking to those of you who are my children. Do you want to know the truth and nothing but the truth? I'm talking of myself now. Adeboye said, God must have told you, some of you who are prophets, you are closer to him. But is there any one of you here who can raise your hand to heaven and say without any doubt that there will be an election in 2023? If you can tell us, stand up and we will clap for a prophet. On crime. The largest seizure of cocaine has been made at Port Harcourt Airport in Nigeria since it began international flight operation years ago. The seizure of 73 sachets of cocaine weighing 8.15 kilograms were found on Nnanna Anayo Michael, who just returned from Brazil. The 39-year-old Nnanna was arrested by the operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, during the inward screening of passengers on board Qatar Airlines flight QR1433 from Doha to Port Harcourt. Nnanna, who hails from Ekusigo, Anambra State, during preliminary interview said he departed Sao Paulo, Brazil on Sunday midnight en route Qatar to Port Harcourt. He claimed an unidentified person in Sao Paulo gave him 6 bed sheets in which the drugs were concealed to deliver to another unidentified person at Port Harcourt International Airport, Omagua. The 73 cocaine sachets were hidden in 4 by 1 feet factory-sewn colorful bed sheets. 5 of the bed sheets contain 12 sachets each, while the 6 bed sheet contain 13 sachets. An immediate follow-up operation led to the arrest of 50-year-old Monday Aliasu, who traveled from Lagos to pick the drug from Nnanna. He was arrested at the airport's car park where he was waiting to receive Nnanna with the latter's photograph taken at the Brazilian airport and his international passport data page in his hand. In a related operation, 9.5 million tablets of pharmaceutical opioids, Tramadol and Exor 5, worth over 5 billion naira, have been seized at the Muritala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and Edo State. Meanwhile, at least 7 drug dealers were arrested in raids in part of Kano with 80 kilograms of codeine and pentazonine injections seized from them. Those picked in Rijija Zaki Brigade, Yankeba, Tunduwada, Kalfi, Ngongo, and Nasarawa areas of the state include Muhammad Adamu, Abba Sani, Awulu Mohammed, among others. While commending the working relationship between NDLEA and other security agencies in the country, Chairman Chief Executive of the Anti-Narcotic Agency, retired Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, charged officers and men of the agency not to rest on their horse. About 10 persons were reportedly killed in a fresh attack at Chando Zarisi Village, Basa, local government area, Plateau State, during an annual festival held ahead of the onset of the rains. This was confirmed by the National Publicity Secretary of Igwe Youth Movement, IYM, Lawrence Zongo, in a statement. The statement reads in part, the national leadership of Irigwe Youth Movement (IYM) condemns the attack on the Irigwe people during the annual ritual festival Zereshi that will usher in the rainy and farming season. Now foreign news, Sri Lanka's cabinet ministers have resigned en masse after protests over the government's handlings of the worst economic crisis in decades. All 26 ministers submitted letters of resignation, but not Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa or his brother, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Many angry protesters demanded the resignation of the Rajapaksa family, say the move is meaningless. On Sunday, many defied a curfew to take to the streets in several cities. The country is grappling with what is said to be its worst economic crisis since independence from the UK in 1948. It is caused in part by a lack of foreign currency, which is used to pay for fuel imports, with power cuts lasting half a day or more, and shortages of food, medicines, and fuel. Public anger has reached a new high. Education Minister Denish Gunawardena told reporters on Sunday that the cabinet ministers had tendered their resignation letters to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister's own son, Nama Rajapaksa, was among those who resigned, tweeting that he hoped it would help the President and Prime Minister's decision to establish stability for the people and the government. However, many protesters who allege that the President and his family are to blame for the situation in the country are angry at the fact that he will remain in power. On Sunday, thousands of people across the country defied a curfew order and a special notification banning anyone from being on any public road, in a park or trains, or on the seashore unless they have written permission from the authorities. The curfew, along with a ban on social media sites including Facebook, WhatsApp, and Twitter, was meant to halt a planned day of protest after a demonstration outside the President's house on Thursday night turned violent. The demonstrations mark a massive turnaround in popularity for Rajapaksa, who swept into power with a majority win in 2019, promising stability and a strong hand to rule the country. He met opposition leader Sajit Pramadasa at another impromptu protest on Sunday, where he, along with other members of his party, were stopped at police barricade as they tried to enter the city Independence Square. Now on sports, the Flamingo camps opened on Sunday in Abuja ahead of this month's Under-17 Women World Cup India 2022 third-round features against their Egyptian counterparts. The Flamingos will host the Egyptians at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, on Sunday, April 17, with the return leg in Cairo on Saturday, April 30. The players are to report at the Sherib Legacy Hotel for camping program. Nigeria's Under-17 Women's head coach, Bankole Olowo-Okere, included all his regulars in the list of 25 for the third-round tied. The Flamingos had earlier trounced their counterparts from the Democratic Republic of Congo 8-0 on aggregate 3-0 in Kinshasa and 5-0 in Benin City to reach the third round of the series. After drawing the first blood during the last group game of the inaugural Nigerian Cricket Federation Women's T20 Invitational, Nigeria fell to the Rwanda's bowling power in the closing game of the event. Winning the toss, Rwanda women's team chose to bat and left 129 runs on the board for the loss of 5 wickets in 20 overs. In the second innings, the Nigerian team struggled to put runs on the board as their wickets fell in succession to lose with 53 runs. Uyi Apata, Nigerian Cricket Federation president, said the matches between the host and Rwanda were top matches and the players gave a good account of themselves. He praised sponsors Access Bank, LO Electricity Distribution, Pet Foundation, EMR, for believing in the youth and cricket to throw their weight behind the federation. President of the Rwanda Cricket Association, Steven Musale, said the event is a great show of development in African women's cricket, and beyond Rwanda winning it, it was nice seeing that a lot of development is going on with other teams. The NCF also confirmed that the event will become a yearly event where top female cricket teams will be invited to the country. Now on our entertainment news. Sydney Esiri, also known as Dr. Sid, is marking his entry into Nollywood with his new comedy, The Order of Things. Co-executive produced by Sid Zero Gravity and Film One Entertainment, the feature-length comedy is currently in post-production ahead of its June 10, 2022 theatrical release. So far, details about the film's plot remain under wraps, save for that it will tell an exciting story of love, growth and self-discovery with a gamer personality in the lead role. The film's cast includes Timini Egbosun, Lilia Afegbai, Damola Adedoye, Charles Inoje, Obi Maduegbuna, Binta Ayomogaji, Tope Olaniyan and Dija, amongst others. The Order of Things is produced by Mimi Battels, Ese Akwaka and Edith Nwanketa. On a sad note, a Nigerian woman who moved to Scotland with her children has died after allegedly being set on fire by her estranged husband on a trip back to her homeland. Mother of four, Chinyere Oguduro, 46 years old, and her brother Ifeanyi Edozim suffered fatal injuries during an alleged incident at her family home in Lagos. Her husband Benjamin Ogunduro, 50, who had been arrested on suspicion of murder, he is accused of having set his estranged wife and brother-in-law on fire as they slept. Chinyere moved to Scotland 4 years ago to study at Glasgow Caledonian University and gained a master's degree in international business management. She traveled home to Nigeria on Thursday and died at the scene of the alleged incident in the early hours of Friday morning. Her younger brother later died in hospital but was able to give a dying declaration to police, alleging that his brother-in-law was responsible. In the statement reported by the Nigerian newspaper The Nation, he said, "I went to pick my sister from the Murtala Mohammed International Airport when she returned. We were sleeping when her husband came in late, banging on the door. We had a little misunderstanding as he accused me of locking him outside. I told him I didn't bolt the door, that I only used the key lock, and besides, he could open it since he had his keys with him. He kept shouting that I locked him out. He insulted me and my sister, but we kept quiet. He left the room only to return when we had fallen asleep. He poured petrol on us, lit a match and went out. We were burning. I managed to escape but couldn't save my sister." Reports in Nigeria say Chinyere had returned to speak with her husband after finding out a plan to sell their family home without her permission. Her children are believed to still be in Scotland. Speaking to the reporters, Edna Duroke, a 64-year-old aunt of the victim, said Ogunduro had originally joined his family in Scotland before returning home. She said, "My niece got a student visa to travel to Scotland. The visa allowed her to take her family, so she took her 4 children and her husband. Nobody knows what happened to make the husband decide to return to Nigeria. No one heard my relative shouting in the house." Describing the incident, she said, "Around 4 a.m., neighbors realized what happened as they started to smell smoke. No one heard my relative shouting in the house." Chinyere has set up her home in Glasgow and set up her own management consultancy company in the city after graduating from university. Friends have paid tribute to Chinyere, who worked in banking sector in Nigeria before moving to Scotland. And that is the size of our news package today. Join us tomorrow at the same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happenings within and across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Mlc TV. Like and follow our Facebook page, MLC TV, Instagram, MLC TV 2021, Twitter at MLC TV1. For your event coverage, information, contribution, adverts, and sponsorship, please call any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Join us Friday and Saturday to watch our special programs. Friday 9 p.m. Local Government and You. Saturday 7 p.m. Family Affairs. 9 p.m. Political Arenas. And Women's World Sunday by 6 p.m. It's Mlc TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. I am Matthias Ayodeji Peter. Please continue to be your brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together. Have a nice day.